man? Welcome back. All or nothing. I just want to start off and say last night's picks were pretty damn good. The one that kind of upset me the most was LeBron James, obviously, not doing what he needed to do against Denver here. Game went to a blowout, so kind of messed up a lot of my lineups. So yeah, that killed me, but great call on some value last night. Tier and McDermott definitely mentioned them, and they definitely got off last night. So that was a good call on that. But yeah, that Denver Lakers game pretty much killed me because I went hard on that game and it got blown out. But other than that, felt good with that. Phoenix game was great. Everything seemed to be rolling my way until that game hit. So, you roll with the punches, you take your losses, and whatever. We got a 10-game slate tonight. Some good games, a lot of good value, a lot of good players I liked tonight. Let's start at point guard here. We got Russell Westbrook at the top going against Cleveland. Yeah, McDermott's good, man. McDermott's he was definitely a good play coming off of a hot game. I tend to like guys like that. But yeah, we got Westbrook at the top here going against Cleveland, 11-1. Problem here again, even though Cleveland's been keeping games kind of close lately, I just don't trust Westbrook at 11-1 here, even though obviously he could smash this spot easily. I just don't know if I'll go Westbrook at 11-1 when I like guys like Kimball Walker right underneath him, 9-7 at home against Atlanta. Just a great matchup for him. Last time he played him, definitely got off. I like Damian Lillard at home against Orlando. Last time he played them, he put up I think it was like a 50 if I'm not mistaken. So that's a great matchup as well. Um, I even love John Wall at 9-3 going against New Orleans. They just played like 2-3 games ago, and that game was crazy. Wall got off. So I'm pretty gonna have a lot of exposure to that game actually. I really do like it. But my favorite play, probably point guard for mid-level money here, is I do love Eric Bledsoe going against my Bulls. Like I said, I love to target my Bulls because they're just terrible defensively. Um, yeah, the Spurs the other night didn't give me the value that I needed going against them, but that's okay. I feel more confident in Milwaukee at home against them, and I love Bledsoe in this matchup. We if you know, do need to know, Bulls have no point guard, so he could feast on them. I love it. Um, Another guy that I really like here, if we're getting down to this money here to try to save some money, uh, I mean, you got to look at guys like maybe Moutier again here going against Philly. Like I said, that rotation is just so messed up that New York, you never know what they're going to do. But if Trey Burke plays, he'll have a good game. If Moutier plays, he'll have a good game. So it's pretty much a guessing game there. But I do like Moutier in that matchup against Philly as well. Philly's a pretty fast paced team here. Um, if we go down a little bit, look for some more value. Another guy that I really like, if he could just get some more minutes here, is Nina Keela for New York as a low end money guy here, 3,700. It could be any day where he'll just get back in the rotation. And if you want to risk throwing a guy away, that's the one to do it. Somewhere around those lines, these guys down there, even White for San Antonio, he's been getting a little more minutes now again. So those guys like that are kind of like your low zero drop to zero score guy. Throw them away if you're playing FanDuel. So keep that in mind as well. Little different strategy. Like shooting guards here, it's a tough position here. I mean, obviously, I love James Harden at the top going against Dallas. This guy's been killing. Not sure if Chris Paul is going to play. So if Paul does play, I may take a step back from Harden tonight. But I mean, he's just been so hot lately. I might have to put him in my lineup. But again, there is some guys here I really, really like. I really like Bradley Beal going against New Orleans. Just a great matchup for him. Donovan Mitchell, same coming back from injury, looking to get Utah back on track against a Brooklyn team, even though that game should be fast paced. So I can see myself going the other side with D'Angelo Russell as well. He's been playing fantastic lately. So I do love me some Russell. So I feel like with this slate tonight, man, you could really pay mid-level guys and build a solid lineup. I don't think you're gonna have to pay too high up for these top guys, but I do like Mitchell. And another guy I really, really like is probably one of my favorite shooting guards on the slate is Middleton going against Chicago at home. He smashed the Bulls last time, and I think he's going to do it again here. Middleton's just been playing great against Chicago. So I really like Bledsoe and Middleton from Milwaukee as my two favorite plays. Um, Another guy that I like right underneath him, Tim Hardaway Jr. going against Philly. This guy always plays great against Philly, and he's just one of the most consistent New York guys that they even have on the team. Everybody else, pretty much, his minutes are, we don't know what's going on, but Hardway, he tends to find those minutes consistently all the time, so I do like him. Um, Another guy I like at 6,200 down here would be Lou Williams at home against Phoenix. Just a great matchup for him, and Phoenix is coming off of a game last night, so I can see this game, and it's a late game as well, so I can see Lou Williams just coming off the bench killing. But we do want to be aware that Phoenix could get blown out. They just played a close game last night, so we got to keep that in mind as well. Um, a guy that I just missed here, Schroeder for OKC. So I love Schroeder in this matchup. Obviously, Westbrook wasn't there the first time they played, and Schroeder got off. But I feel like if this game does turn into a blowout, Schroeder will be the one to get the best value here. So I do like him as well. Another guy down here that I really like, Eric Gordon again, playing great against Dallas. Dallas struggles against guards, so I can see Eric Gordon having a big game. I think whether Chris Paul is back or not, this guy's going to be good value here at 5.5. He'll probably be low owned if Chris Paul does come back and play, so I do like Gordon. Even Brogdon against the Bulls, like I said, I think you could find a lot of value in that Milwaukee-Chicago game, but I do like Brogdon as well. And if I'm looking down, if we're going all the way down, I mean, this guy a tier again for New York. So if Philly ends up blowing New York out, this guy's going to get a ton of run. If the game's close, this guy's going to get a ton of run. And after the game last night, man, he's probably feeling really good. 3,700. I'll probably go right back to him tonight. That'll be my punt play. He fails, whatever. But if he goes off, you're looking at probably some serious money. So I like Tier again as my sleeper at shooting guard. Let's move on to small forwards here. So at the top, we got Giannis. This one is tricky because Giannis against the Bulls, I mean, he could go off for probably 70, 80 against the Bulls. But again, I don't know how close Chicago will keep this game. My prediction for Giannis tonight, maybe 45 fantasy points, maybe a 50 piece, which isn't too bad. But for 12-1, I'd rather pay down for a guy like Jabari Parker at 7-4 going against Milwaukee, his former team in Milwaukee. Probably got a lot of friends and family coming to the game, so I can see Jabari going off tonight. Love that matchup for him. Another guy that I really like here down at the bottom, I love Otto Porter for Washington going against New Orleans. Like I said, this game hit it off last time they played, and I can see it doing the same thing again. This time Anthony Davis is back, so just be careful on a lot of these New Orleans plays, because obviously Davis requires more usage. So if you're doing your research, keep that in mind. Davis did not play against them last time, but that doesn't change the fact with Washington how they definitely put up a big game. So I love me some Otto Porter tonight as well. I even love me some Harrison Barnes for Dallas going against Houston. We know Houston's been struggling a little bit lately defensively, so I can see Barnes taking advantage of that. Definitely, if he's got some James Harden defense on him, I can see Harrison Barnes having a big game here. Another guy that I like, that if we want to find some value here, like I said, these Cleveland guys they're very tricky, man. But at 5,200 for Hood and Osman, I mean, they're going to get a bulk load of minutes. And like I said, and in big slates like this, you want to look for guys that are going to be low owned and have a high chance of, 10x value, because that's going to bring you to the top of these tournaments. And like I said, man, the whole point of this video is not to help you guys cash a little bit. I'm trying to help you guys hit that big win, because there's no better feeling than that. When you get that big win finally, there's no better feeling. That's why this is all or nothing. So there's a lot of these plays I give you guys, they're sometimes up in the air, but when they hit, it'll definitely help you. I even like Eastwan Moore at 5,400 going against Washington. I like Eastwan Moore even more when Anthony Davis is playing, because he ends up, his usage gets a little higher for some reason, and Davis kicks it to him in the corners a lot, knocks down a lot of threes. So I do love Moore here as well. If we're looking for some value, I do like Michael Kidd-Gilchrist at home against Atlanta. I think that could be a good matchup. Remember, Atlanta just played as well, so I can see Charlotte coming out, and I think this guy is just gonna be the very super low owned. I think the other day he played, he was like 1% owned. So I could see him being around the same today, and especially a bigger game slate. So I do like Gilchrist as well as a low end value play. Um, and probably my last one at small forward, I would say do like Oubre Jr. as well. He's been playing awesome lately, going against New Orleans, and this game is going to be fast paced for sure. So I'm going to have a lot of exposure to this game, probably Chicago, Milwaukee, maybe build my lineups around that. But I definitely like Oubre too. Let's move on to power forwards here. I mean, at the top, we already know we got Anthony Davis. He's come. He remember he did not play against Washington last time, so I'm not sure. This could obviously going to be a huge matchup problem for Washington, and he obviously has the chance to go off for 60, 70 fantasy points, but he's 12-5. And when you're paying that much, you really need 60, 70 out of these guys but there's so much value, man. I feel like in these 10 game slates, you could even pay down from these guys, fade the public, what everybody else thinks going to happen. You kind of want to go the complete opposite. And that's why I like a guy like Tobias Harris at home going against Phoenix, 8-4. Great matchup for him. Even Montrezl Harrell as well, 8-3. I can see myself even pairing both these guys in the same lineup. I do like them both. Here's another big news here. Aaron Gordon for Orlando is questionable. If that's the case, then I'm going to have to go a lot Vucevic at center. When I get there, I'll talk about him a little more. But that's something to keep in mind. John Collins' price just keeps rising. 7-2 going against Charlotte. He's been playing awesome, but 7-2. Don't know how much exposure I'll have for him at that price when I could just pay up to try to get Tobias. Another guy I like here, Markieff Morris for Washington going against New Orleans. Stretch fours always give New Orleans problems here, and Morris has been back on a roll here lately, so I could see him definitely having a great game as well here. Um, Larry Nance, if he continues to start for Cleveland, could be a matchup problem for OKC, so that could be something, but he's at 6,000. Price is okay, I guess. Don't really like it too much, but if he starts, then the price is worth it, so keep him in mind as well. But one of my favorite sleeper plays here at power forward, I love Marvin Williams for Charlotte going against Atlanta. We do know he played for Atlanta back in the day, and last time they played Atlanta earlier this year, he just smashed them for like almost 40 fantasy points. So I could see this guy doing it again tonight, and he's at home. So this could be a nice spot for Marvin Williams tonight. Even right underneath him, Aminu going against Orlando. I think that's a good matchup for him as well, especially if there's no Gordon. Can't see who's going to guard him. And he stretches the floor, does a little bit of everything. So I do love Aminu tonight as well. Another guy here I like at the bottom to get some value here. This is a tough play here, but Rashard Holmes, for the Phoenix, he hasn't been playing too bad lately. He's been getting about a good 15 to 18 minutes a game. Now, if this game does turn into a blowout, remember Clippers are #1 in the West, so they are a good team. If they do blow out Phoenix, I could see this guy coming in and getting a lot of run. And at 4-3, price is okay on him, but he's gonna be super low owned. I'll say maybe even less than 1% owned tonight. And if that game blows out, man, that could be a huge sleeper pick tonight. So I do like Holmes. He has a lot of block value and rebound value, and he's shown he can score about a good 10 points. So if you can get a couple blocks, 10 points, and 6, 7 rebounds, value will hit easily there. So I do love that matchup for him. If the game is blown out, mark my words with that. You're really looking for Phoenix to get blown out if you play him. Let's move over to center here, last position. So at the top, we got Embiid. Love Embiid in this matchup. But one thing you guys have to keep in mind is Cancer loves playing against Embiid. Just Cancer loves playing against Embiid. So if you guys don't recall, last year Christmas time they faced each other and Cancer went off for about like 60 something fantasy points. I can see that again happening tonight. He just loves going against Embiid. So if you want Embiid probably gonna have a great game today. But I can see you paying down to get to Cancer at 8,000. Makes a lot of sense to me. I'll probably be doing that in some lineups as well. I like that matchup. But Towns going against San Antonio. This is a smash spot for Karl Anthony Towns as well. As we know, San Antonio is terrible against big men. So I love Towns in this matchup. Think he could definitely take advantage of a weak front court with San Antonio. But the hottest guy here at center has been this Vucevic guy. This guy has just been smashing lately. I mean, just literally taking apart anybody at center that he comes across and just putting up ridiculous fantasy point games. I mean, you got to have this guy in some lineups tonight. I mean, I'm not sure how many lineups you guys play, but if you're putting 10 lineups, I'll say you got to put Vooch maybe in about 3 or 4 of those at least. I mean, this guy's going against Portland as well. I can see him just dominating here, especially no Gordon. If Gordon does not play, that's just more usage for him. So I do like him as well. I think it could be a huge game for him. Capella against Dallas. I don't really like the matchup going against Jordan. And at 9-2, it's for me, that's just way too high for Capella. So I'll probably stay away when I could just pay down for Cancer. Another guy that I like here who's just been playing awesome, Tristan Thompson for Cleveland. You know, his last game, he didn't put up too great numbers like the previous two before that, but this is a great spot for him going against OKC. I think he's just energy. He can match Steven Adams' energy easily. He's just one of the most hyper energetic centers that we have in the league. So I definitely like Tristan Thompson as well. But if we're looking for value here at center, one guy I really like here is Brook Lopez from Milwaukee going against Chicago. Now, Chicago also struggles against big men, and Brook Lopez gets about 25 plus minutes a game. So I could see Brook Lopez smashing this spot here, and I know for sure he's going to be super low owned again. And like I said, in order to win these tournaments, you have to attack low value guys. That's your main objective, is to find the low value guys that nobody's going to have. That's the main thing. You find that, man, you're on it for sure. Um, and if you want to go even trickier than Brook Lopez, I like Zeller for Charlotte going against Atlanta. We know Atlanta right now also struggling at the center position, and Zeller just seems to dominate these guys every time he plays them. Earlier this year, he put up about 30 fantasy points, and at 5,000, that could give you some value to pay up to get some studs in your lineup. So I do like Zeller here also. But if we want to really get crazy with this, one guy that I was looking at, if Aaron Gordon does not play today, I feel like this Bamba guy has to get a lot of tick. I feel like he's gonna come in, get a lot more run, and I think him doing that, he could definitely hit value. I mean, he does a little. He's pretty damn good when he plays. If you guys haven't watched this guy play, you know he's pretty damn good, and he's definitely the future center there for that team. But obviously, he's hid behind Vujicic, who's just been killing. But if Gordon doesn't play, he could be a sneaky play. And at 3,600, man, I mean, you could just have a lot of money to pay up to get a lot of guys. So I do like Bamba a lot here as well. But that would pretty much do it here for me at center. Like I said, my favorite place here at center. If you want value, Brook Lopez. You want it guaranteed. I like Vujicic. If you want to go crazy God mode game, that's what I call Enes Kanter's game last year. He's gonna have probably another one of those big games tonight against Philly. That's what I'm probably banking on. So that'll pretty much do it here for these picks, guys. Like I said, man, do me a favor, man. Just like my videos. Please subscribe to me, man. Help me keep growing. I got a lot of things cooking. So this is only going to get better, and I'm going to have even more private content for everybody that messes with me, man, and rocks with me. I'm going to continue to I'm just growing every day, talking to a lot of people. So I'm going to take off with this eventually. But the information is, like I said, is the most important part, and that's why you guys are here, to get good information, and that's what I continue to hope to deliver to you guys. But like I said, man, smash the like button, subscribe to me, share my video. If you know anybody else that does this, just continue to look out. And let's get this money, man. Like I said, this is all or nothing. I make these videos just to help you guys get that big tournament wins. If you guys play, head-to-heads and stuff like that, that's cool as well. You could use these picks. But a lot of them are usually meant for tournament plays. I try to do something different here. Like, winning these tournaments is just epic, man, and it's just a great feeling. And I hope anybody can experience that. So just got to use your head here and think outside the box, I would say. And also, if anybody plays football, I'm going to be starting also NFL videos. Friday, I'll have my first live video. It's going to be featuring a guy named Geostorm. This guy won $150,000 playing football. Just a beast when it comes to football, man. So he's going to be live with me talking. And yeah, so tune in Friday. Not sure what time yet, so please subscribe, guys, so you guys can get that notification. and get on live with us and chop it up. But let's get this money tonight, man. Any questions, anything about tonight's games, please comment, ask me anything, as I only go over my favorite plays, but there are other plays I do like. So please, guys, don't be afraid to talk to me, man, as I love communicating with you guys. It just makes this much better. Thank you. Let's get it.